Grand Seiko GMT. Big thanks to Nick and the crew at Exquisite Timepieces allowing me to check this out so I can share it with you guys. This is the SBGJ239. Has a retail price of $6,600. Probably expect to pay that if you are in the market for one of these. Very, very cool looking watch. I think most people are going to agree this is, if they were going to gravitate towards a Grand Seiko, this is probably what it looks like in most cases. There are a bunch of other great looking Grand Seikos, but this one's high up on the category, I believe. Let's get right into it. Talk about the size, talk about the movement, and all of that stuff. So I measure the case at about 43 millimeter, but you can see the case kind of bellies out. So when I measure 43 mil, it's like just below the bezel. The bezel is actually like 44 millimeter across. So it's going to present like a 44 mil because that's what it is on the top side. But it's going to wear much smaller because it is much smaller on the bottom side. The lug to lug is 50.5 millimeter, full polished on the side, a little bit of brushing up top on the top of the lugs. Thickness, I measure at 14.6 millimeter. That's including the double dome sapphire crystal with AR coating. You have an odd 21 millimeter lug width there. Should be easy enough to find straps. I don't know why you would go looking for another strap because the leather that's provided with this is very good, as is the buckle system. So I think you're going to want to wear it in the current configuration. The screw down crown is 6.9 millimeter. It does hold, it is signed, and it does hold the 200 meter water depth rating on this thing. You have a bi-directional clicky bezel. It's a very soft click, but you can feel the detents. And it is 72 clicks. So plenty of options to kind of lock that friction, snappy, bi-directional bezel into position to track a third time zone. The movement inside is the 9S86. This is a high beat movement from Grand Seiko, beating at 36,000 vibrations per hour. So if you look at the seconds hand, that sweep is very smooth. It has basically 8 ticks per second. So it looks pretty dang smooth. Not quite as smooth as a spring drive, but it's getting close. You're going to have some lume on this at the cardinal positions, the 12, 3, 6, and 9, as well as the hour and minute hand and the GMT hand there. You have a offset crown, of course, over here at the 4 o'clock position, as is the date. It is framed. This is a traveler's GMT watch, meaning that when we unscrew this crown to adjust this the other thing, winding this 9S86 movement is very smooth. It has just little ticks to it. That's it. But in the first position, when you pop the crown out, this is where you adjust the hour hand. So true traveler's GMT. So you adjust it forward and backward. And that is also how you adjust the date. If you want to adjust the minutes in the GMT hand, that's how you pop it all the way out, hack the movement, and you adjust that. So pretty easy to operate, very useful for tracking a second time zone, for traveling, third time zone if you absolutely need it. I don't know, some people do, I suppose, for different reasons. The movement, back to the movement, 37 joules. Grand Seiko didn't just like make a high speed movement, high beat movement, whatever you want to call it. There's other things going on there to make it reliable, accurate, anti-magnetic. They did a bunch of, wizardry inside, essentially. Watchmaker stuff, right? The accuracy should be +5 to -3 seconds in that range. Very accurate movement. I think people, if you're in the comments, if you feel like chiming in and you own one of these 9S movements in one of your Grand Seiko, go ahead and shout out. Like, what kind of accuracy are you getting with that watch? I suspect people are getting, like, probably better than the stated accuracy. Let's give this thing, let's pop it on wrist. Did I show the case back? I don't think I did. There's the case back. is solid, so you don't get to see the movement. You can tell it needs to be broken in a little bit. You can hear that squeaking a little bit. That's annoying at first, but once the watch breaks in, I don't think it'll do that. I think that's just, everything's tight on the leather still. Here it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. The watch wears and looks perfect. This is a very wearable Grand Seiko for sure. It's not too dressy, but you can tell that it's a Grand Seiko because of the polish bits are just on point. The dial's very attractive. And then, of course, you have all the tech involved with this thing. So let's give this thing a quick blast with the UV light. Again, big thanks to the crew down in Naples at Exquisite Timepieces. Excuse me. Link in the description. Full loomed bezel. All the Arabics up top and the triangle, and then the reverse image on the bottom, fully loomed. Very cool. Kind of reminds me of those like fully loomed Zodiac bezels. Plenty bright, plenty legible. And even in that low light, you can kind of see those polished indices and handset. I mean, look at the light catch off those. Very jewelry-like. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next vid.